Welcome to 2 Minute Drill, the first pitch-only show that features entrepreneurs from all walks of life, competing each week for a mix of cash and prizes. Hosted by legendary entrepreneur, sports executive, and investor, David Meltzer. Contestants have just 2 minutes to deliver their most convincing pitch ever. Who will fold under the pressure?
My big question is, if somebody were to make an investment, how are they going to get their money back? How are you going to monetize this?
And who will thrive?
You can't just say, well, maybe you need someone like this. Maybe you need, at somebody like, dude, maybe you need to go get some therapy. I don't think anyone's going to work for you.
After the pitches are complete, the judges will deliberate to decide our champion.
I also love the personalized story, and it's so relatable because we've all been there.
Will they rise to the occasion? Will they blow away the judges?
What I like about this is it really hits the two things that I look for is, can we get people more engaged and productive?
Will they be crowned champion?
Your 2 minutes starts now.
David Meltzer hosts 2 Minute Drill. Our featured judges include self-made millionaire entrepreneurs that have pitched their way to scale multiple 9-figure companies and brands. David Meltzer grew up poor with the dream of buying his mom a house and a car. Within 9 months of graduating law school, David achieved that dream. After becoming a multi-millionaire, he lost over $100 million and built it back to run the most notable sports agency in the world. Considered one of the top entrepreneurs and investors, David is also a 3-time international best-selling author, a top 100 business coach, and host of the top entrepreneur podcast, The Playbook. His life's mission is to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. This simple yet powerful mission has led him on an incredible journey to provide one thing: value. John Driscoll is the founder and CEO of Naked Development, a groundbreaking investment and advisory firm that has accelerated the growth of 50-plus startups across sectors including tech, health, and sustainability. With a career spanning over 20 years, John has been at the forefront of innovation, building businesses that have collectively generated billions in revenue. A proven leader and strategic thinker, John's work has bridged the gap between vision and execution. As a former executive at Fortune 500 companies, he combines corporate rigor with entrepreneurial agility, empowering founders to scale boldly. John's impact extends beyond the boardroom. As chairman of diversity and inclusion, he's helped funnel millions in funding to underrepresented entrepreneurs, reshaping the venture landscape for a more equitable future. Markus Kaulius is a renowned investor, mentor, best-selling author, and speaker who has transformed thousands of lives and businesses with his expertise in scaling ventures and unlocking potential. With a proven track record of driving $100 million plus in business growth, Markus is a sought-after leader in the entrepreneurial world. As a dynamic speaker, Markus has captivated audiences on hundreds of stages worldwide, inspiring entrepreneurs to take action and achieve extraordinary results. Clinton Sparks is a Grammy-nominated DJ, producer, and entrepreneur who has sold over 75 million records and collaborated with some of the biggest names in music, including Eminem, Lady Gaga, Beyonce, and Kanye West. With #1 chart-topping hits and platinum-certified albums, his influence on pop culture is undeniable. A visionary entrepreneur, he co-founded the disruptible music platform Xset, merging gaming and music to redefine entertainment. Clinton's passion for music and mentorship shines through his Billboard charting songs, 2 decades of breaking new artists, and his motivational book, How to Win Big in the Music Business. Our first contestant is Mitchell Peters, co-owner of Picnic, Fast Restaurant Decisions.
So our service is basically to help people choose where they want to go out to eat in a fun, fast, and engaging way. It's something that I think everybody struggles with from time to time, whether it's friends, coworkers, family members, you name it. And so this app is a way to help you decide where you want to go out to eat with groups of people, fun, fast, and effectively. And we've been working on it now for about 8 months. The amount of times that you look over at a significant other, ask them where they want to go out to eat, and they look at you with a blank face, or you don't know, and then you do the doom scrolling. You go through Yelp and try to find a restaurant that you both agree on, and then you don't agree on anything. That kind of inspired this app idea to make it fun, engaging, and a lot more of a pleasurable experience. Winning 2-minute drill would solidify the fact that this is an idea that needs to be presented. This is a solution. This is an app that people need, that we finally found a business and an idea that people want, and it's not just something personal. It kind of solidifies the idea that we're on the right track. This is a business we need to keep at it, and it's not just a fantasy. It's actually something that can become a reality.
All right, Mitchell, your 2 minutes starts now.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mitchell, and I am the co-founder of Picnic. So what is Picnic? Well, let me give you a little backstory. About 3 years ago, my girlfriend would argue I made the best decision of my life, going on a first date with her. That same night, I made one of the worst decisions of my life. I didn't choose what restaurant we were going to go out to on said date. So I could buy some flowers, I get in the car, I go pick her up, give her the flowers. Everything's going amazing, all up until I asked her the question, so where do you want to go eat? She hits me with that famous line, I don't know, you choose. Now, I'm sure all of us have experienced this at least once or twice in our life with a family member, coworker, friend, you name it. Well, Picnic's here to solve exactly that. How, you might ask? Well, let me ask you this question. How are people finding love today? They're swiping left, swiping right, hoping to be matched with the love of their life. Why not take this exact same concept and apply it to something a little bit more important than love? Eating. On average, Americans are going out to eat 3 or more times per week. That's a lot of, I don't know, you choosing going on. Picnic solves this by allowing groups of people to swipe left on restaurants they don't want to eat at and swipe right on restaurants that they do. As soon as everybody in the group has swiped right on the same restaurant, boom, a match-based decision's been made. So let's go over a quick example on how this works. Imagine David and I are going out to eat, and I got to create a picnic for it. Well, he's visiting me in Atlanta, so I'm going to pick a location in Atlanta. I'll name the picnic Dinner with David. I can pick a date and time for this picnic to end, and then I got to do 2 more things. The first is I got to set a cost of the restaurants that we want to look at. David said he's buying, so I'm going to set the most expensive cost possible. We also have an option to add some of our previous favorite restaurants, but that's a feature for a host that we can get to a little bit later. Next, of course, I have to invite David to this picnic. I can do that one of 3 ways: my contact list, a shareable link, or if I had his phone number memorized, I could just plug it in right there. Now, this is where the magic happens. We can swipe left on the restaurants we don't like and then swipe right on the restaurants we do. As soon as David and I have both swiped right on the exact same restaurant, boom, we know we're going out to eat. It's fun, fast restaurant decisions. Thank you so much. We're Picnic. We're here to help you choose.
You know, I loved everything you had to say, Mitch. I loved, how you had a story, you had a real reason, how you got to this idea. And yeah, I was real impressed with what you did so far.
And added humor.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, great.
What about you, Marcus? You have a puzzled look on your face.
No puzzle here. I really love this. I also love the personalized story, and it's so relatable because we've all been there. Yep. Right away, I was like, I cannot wait for this app to reach Canada, because my wife, whenever we're choosing a restaurant, she says to me, can we just skip the part where you say no to the first 10 things I suggest and just you tell us where we're eating? So psyched for it. I think the only thing I missed, maybe this is the puzzling part. What are you looking for right now? What stage are you at right now? What are you hoping to get?
Oh, I'm actually really glad you asked that. We are pre-launch. We're looking to launch maybe in about a month or so. And so what we're kind of looking for is, we've realized things are expensive. Building an app is great and all, but if you want to maintain or start a really successful business, you need some capital. You need to get the word out there. You need to get users. And basically what we're looking for is guidance, is first of all, because this is very new to us. And second is strategies to get this out there, because I hope we can all agree that this is a product or a problem that all of us face. But the issue is, how do we get this in front of people that they realize here's a solution to this problem, rather than going to typical things like Yelp, restaurants near me on Google, so on and so forth. So that's kind of what we're looking for, is guidance on how do we get this out there to see that this business is a valid business and this idea will work.
The secondary business model to this is the data that they'll collect for restaurants, right, to understand why people want that and why they go there, how often they eat there, what demographic goes and eats there, at what time of day do they eat there. So there's also a whole secondary, you probably figured that out already, but.
That's our second target audience, our target market.
And is it integrated with Yelp or whatever to see what, or Open Table or whatever company it is, to see what's available?
Currently, yes. Currently, we're looking at Yelp. We're using their API to pull up, information on restaurants and pictures of that nature. Eventually, we'd like to have our own database that we have all of that information stored. And yes, we'd love to work with things like OpenTable, Resi, Yelp. Like if we could incorporate things like that, we can also have features where you can make reservations on the app. As soon as you've matched, boom, let's make a reservation there. We could get plans. It's great for even dating apps. A dating app like Tinder, you can go ahead and plan on where you guys are going to go out to eat on a first date immediately. So right now we're just using the Yelp API, but we do plan on incorporating a lot of other features and tools out there.
Mitchell, my big question is, if somebody were to make an investment in Picnic, how are they going to get their money back? How are you going to monetize this?
So I could go all day about how the ideas we've come up with monetizing this. So our current trajectory, our current plan is we're going to release the app with a subscription-based app where you have a free version and a paid version. Obviously, we want it to be kind of like Tinder in a way where you can still use the app. It's still successful. It's still something that's useful for people. But if you pay a little bit more, you can maybe include more than one person at Picnic. Like right now, I gave the example, just David and I. Well, that would be free for everybody consistently. Maybe if you pay, $2, $3 a month, you can then send it to a group message where now you have a group of friends that are all swiping, and then you have a group decision made. Eventually, we want to transition to maybe where restaurants are paying us for the data, or restaurants are paying for a priority on Stack. So that way, if they pay us a subscription per month,
I like that.
We prioritize showing them to more people, so it drives traffic to them. So we're not only helping the consumer going out to eat, we're helping restaurants as well. And then of course, the whole data, we could sell data to different people, different restaurants, so on and so forth. But again, I could talk about this for like an hour of all the things that we thought of.
That was the magic I wanted to hear.
Yeah, and we'll have to change the name of the show to Hour Drill. So we'll keep it at 2 minutes. You did a fabulous job. Look forward to seeing you at the end of the show. Congratulations.
Next up, we've got Yazid Al-Khatib, founder of Flohana, personalized social productivity app.
Flohana is a platform designed to help people achieve deep focus and productivity. We match you with live focus partners that are perfect for you. We give you tools like Pomodoro timer and focus music, and track your individual goals and metrics, making it easy to stay motivated and on track. Focus is something that I learned to treasure. In Jordan, when I was young, I drove my mom crazy. I wouldn't sit down and study, even if you put me in chains, and I'm not exaggerating. So with Flohana, we aim to create a community where everyone experiences this powerful support and motivation, enabling each other to achieve remarkable goals and build profound connections.
Yazid, you're on the clock with 2 Minute Drill.
Hi judges, my name's Yazid and I'm the founder of Flohana. We provide a more fulfilling way to focus and be productive. In this age, we're more connected than ever. The world is at our fingertips, but it comes at a great cost. We're being constantly bombarded with endless information. It's crippling our attention and isolating us. 56 million students report to feel unmotivated. Academic performance is at an all-time low. But take a look at what people are doing to stay on track. This will blow your mind. Hundreds of millions watch Study With Me videos on YouTube for motivation. These are recordings of strangers studying, and they have a consistent, massive impact on productivity. Apple released this video here. We're seeing a need for connection when doing difficult activities like studying or working, even if it's connection behind screens. And so Flohana took this approach, but elevated it to another level, with real-time accountability partners matched intentionally to each user. These partners have focus sessions that are distraction-free. They utilize tools like our Pomodoro timer and focus music. We've gamified focus with an award system that helps foster a thriving community. But we also track individual goals and metrics to build stronger accountability. My focus partner that I've had since high school changed my life. She keeps me focused and driven to this day. But so many people don't have a way to find that meaningful connection organically. Just think of the masses of remote students who are in desperate need for this. Well, Flohana is dedicated to provide an abundance of these connections to everyone who needs it. We are monetized with a freemium subscription model. The productivity app market is expected to double in size in the next 5 years and reach $18 billion. With your help, we can get a sizable piece of that pie. We are seeking funding to fully develop and launch Flohana by October of this year. But more importantly, we need mentorship to amplify our reach and go global in how we achieve our goals together. Thank you.
Wow. Well done. Good job.
Well, we finally have a healthy alternative to Adderall, so look, it's really nice.
You could do both.
What do you think, John? What do you think, John?
No, I love it. I love it. I had so many thoughts on, just how that would increase productivity even for myself. I've never done the YouTube thing. This was super new as a concept for me. But I was really just, thinking, how are you going to get new users? I mean, do you have a real plan for how you're going to go about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing we're very sure about is the people on YouTube who are actively looking for solutions, for distractions, for feeling like they're lonely and unmotivated, for being isolated in whatever journey they're in. So we have these Study With Me videos that already attract hundreds of millions. We want to put our platform out there for people to see on YouTube and start there with people who really need it, with people actively looking for a solution like this. And we know this is going to be the perfect solution for them.
Yazid, really liked your pitch. You're poised, really good graphics. This is solving a really big problem, and we all know it's a big problem. So fantastic there. I also appreciated you got everything in with 30 seconds to go. I'm like, oh man, I don't know what he wants though. And then you told us what you wanted. I respect it, I appreciate it. I think you're gonna have a ton of success with this, especially as soon as you start getting it out there into people's hands. So good on you, brother.
I would say, man, we are in a world where attention is really, really difficult to get. Especially the younger generation. It's hard for them to pay attention. They're so used to so much stuff coming at them that they don't really hold on to anything long enough. And I don't know if there's anything that can solve that problem. I don't think there's one thing that could make everybody as a society now all decide, we're all gonna pay attention now because of this one thing, because you would have to stop social media. You would have to stop news program. You'd have to stop. You can't just, it's all gonna keep coming. I personally don't see, to me, how this could be something that solves a giant problem. I think it's an alternative to the many other things that are there for people to use.
But if millions of people are already doing this on YouTube,
there's
kind of already a proven market, right?
So it's an alternative to the many other things that already exist.
You make a good point, but I don't think you need to solve the problem. When I'm advising people, I look at the factor of engagement and productivity and the relationship between the two. And what I found that it's not just what's coming at you. One of the problems being old school executive is that I think there's a problem with executives today that they don't know how productive kids can be with the technology they have. So we're getting cheated all the time as executives because these kids are 10 times more productive in 1/100th of the time. And so you're sitting there executive going, shit man, I'm getting so much more from my sales force than I've ever gotten before. But meanwhile, it takes them like 2 seconds to get in touch with 1,000 people. Because, right? Or with AI, be able to get a deck done that used to take like a week to get this Canva deck done, and they're done in like 20 minutes. And so I think what I like about this is it really hits the two things that I look for is, can we get people more engaged and productive? And it takes focus, attention, and intention. But Clinton, you make the best point that in the pitch, to your point, in the pitch, make sure you illuminate the truth. And I think building up the fact that, hey, this is why it's a problem, and here we have one solution that can, let's say it increases productivity 10% for 1,000 people in your company, the ROI is quantitatively, and this may be the best way to do that. And so I think you get over that objection. Anyway, that was a really, once again, a clap-worthy pitch. I also like the production. Very rarely does someone take the time to like zoom in, right? I'm sitting there going, honestly, like people know this show's in season 6. It's like, let's do it upright. And you definitely did it upright. Congratulations.
Our next contestants are Cami and Hayden Orr, co-founders of ChordQuest.
So our service is a sheet music app, and it helps students learn their music faster, and it helps support parents and teachers be able to help their students. I'm a director of music at church, and I had a lot of students asking me for help with the sheet music, and it was taking a lot of my time, and I thought, man, if I had an app that you could just do this really in a few seconds, then it would be really nice. So that was the inspiration for us. It was wanting to accomplish our dream, as well as wanting to save time for myself. I feel like winning would really propel us. We're going to be successful no matter what. So nothing's going to stop us, but anything that will propel us to success faster and help us get our dreams it will mean the world to us.
Hayden, Your 2 minutes starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Hayden Orr, co-founder of ChordQuest, the best way to learn sheet music. We're seeking $300,000 for 15% of our company. Why are we here? Our friends. Take Susan, for example. She wants to be a part of her church choir, but lacks the ability and understanding, and more importantly, the confidence to join that choir. Introduce Andre, who has zero musical experience, and yet his daughter is learning music and comes to him often seeking his help on how to play her music, and yet he has no ability to do so. And then you have Mr. Gutik, the band director, who wants to be the best band in the United States, and yet lacks the ability to be able to reward his students and encourage them to practice more. And finally, you have Cami Orr, my lovely wife and founder of ChordQuest, who has people coming to her all the time into our home seeking guidance on how to better understand their sheet music. Things we hear time and time again is, it's not fun. I don't know where my music is. How is my part supposed to sound? And most importantly, how if I could just hear my part. These are things we heard all the time, so we created ChordQuest. It's very simple so that anybody and everyone could use it throughout the world. You simply take a picture of the sheet music, download it to your app, and then it disseminates the parts for you. Therefore, you're able to mute everybody else and listen to your part and understand how it's supposed to sound. Or you can mute yourself, unmute everyone else, and hear, play, and sing along. Obviously, we have a metronome and you can hear the rhythm, but the most important part, the bread and butter, is simply hearing your part. Now these people can participate in their music and enjoy and excel.
You spent almost 90 seconds on describing, in a really entertaining way, the problems, right? And pitch is about the solution. And so we want to be able to be quicker at saying, you know, this is to resolve this problem about people in all these different circumstances not being able to hear their own part of what they're playing. Yeah. No matter who the teacher, the students, the wife, and et cetera is. And I think otherwise, if you had more time, you could have really delved into something I think is extremely valuable.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I actually wrote down 40 seconds, which I mean is how much time you had to work with the solution. I wrote that down. You know, one of the thoughts, I didn't hear you say it. Did I miss, are you using AI to do this?
No, not yet.
No, you're not?
No.
Okay. So how, okay. So I guess we don't need to get in the technology side of it.
I wasn't sure. If you want.
Sure, go ahead.
The reason we're not using AI is because when sheet music is formed, when notes go above certain bars and certain graphs, the data that is coming in for the sheet music isn't advanced enough in the AI. And that learning model is so far behind in the music industry that we're not even close to that yet. So now we literally have to scan it and disseminate the parts that way.
One quick question.
Eventually we'll get there, but not there yet.
One other question. Who are you selling this to? Who's the user?
Yeah, great question.
Yeah.
Yep. School districts, that's our #1 target. Obviously, anyone could download the app, but the biggest focus is school districts and churches.
And just to go back to my point, you could have just started there, because all these people, I can see how relative to school districts.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah,
and so I think that's a good focal point to save you time.
When you were asking about AI and he said no, I just pictured Hayden and Cami going through the music. We'll get back to you in 20 minutes. We're pulling it apart as we speak.
We're almost done.
Yeah, this is a really cool idea. So loved that. Clearly about your pitch, really important to get to the goods faster. Because all of us were paying attention. I remember looking at the clock going, he hasn't introduced all 4 of the different scenarios yet. And I was getting worried for you. And that's not something you want someone who's listening to your pitch thinking. Again, really cool idea. And I think also talking early on about who it's for by saying school district. I can picture my kid's band teacher would just die for this. And now you go, well, how many users would you like to pay for? And it's like, I'll pay for them all. So yeah, really cool.
I think the pressure to try to get 4 use cases was the problem.
Yeah,
if you just done 1 use case, I think it would have been much easier.
I think the school district should have been the use case.
If he started
because people know all the different people involved.
If he started with, here's who I am, and here's what I've discovered. Because I don't even know like what his credibility is. I see some guitars and a piano and stuff behind him, but like that could just be a regular dude standing in front. If you say, I'm a Grammy nominated, blah, 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 in my experience, schools and da-da-da are suffering from this problem. Much like Andrea or my beloved wife, 2 of them would have been good enough. And like, here's how we solved it, right? Yeah. And that's how it would have been great. You got to grab us right away. We're on a show, so we're going to listen to the whole 2 minutes. Yeah. But if I'm going to be honest, probably 30 seconds, all of us would have already tuned out. And like, I don't know what this guy's talking about.
And the truth is, after 30 seconds, although we didn't tune out because it's our job to judge it, we were all looking at the clock going, when is he going to start? I get the point. When is he going to start? And you don't want that.
And I don't know how big the audience is for this to be like a big money-making product.
Well, and then school districts are hard to sell to.
And they're also cutting school programs. It's just, there's not a lot of money to be made in a product like it serves a purpose.
It's interesting that you say that, because that was my biggest concern. We've invested literally all our life savings into this, and is there a return on the profit? Because I don't want to do this for kicks and giggles. But if you look at how education is evolving, educational apps holistically wise, in 2022, since really beginning of COVID, but in 2022, the industry was at $7 billion. In 2027, they're predicting it's going to be $127.6 billion. Just educational apps in general.
More data for your pitch, right? If you would have stayed focused in on, and I also like to know an entrepreneur during a pitch when they say, I put my life savings into it, because the common denominator of all successful people is a desire that they must be what they can be. And if you put all your money in, there's a greater desire that you must be what you can be. Yeah. I've done it before.
You're
trust
all
me.
in.
That desire is
and
there.
It's that prioritizing it. I get it. I appreciate your feedback for sure. It's all very
But you're
sound.
right there, and I didn't know the market was that big, but now that I do, I think I'm going to reconsider the value of that company and where you stand and how you work. So,
and thank you for caring about students and churches and
music,
schools.
I mean, Clinton Sparks,
and music, keeping music alive and helping people learn how to do music and understand it. I still think it's a little also inside baseball. Like for you to understand your part, you understand music. So you're trying to take your part. Okay, what's my part? You're already in a band that understands how to read music. It's not going to be a random dude that doesn't understand music at all. It's like, all right, break my part out so I can understand what I don't understand.
Although there can be young kids in the schools as well. So.
We presented this to so many music professionals, and they're just like, I don't get this. This doesn't help me. And through the time, we've said, okay, this is not our target audience. It's the kiddos. It's the moms that want to be in the church choir. It's the whole thing I said at the beginning.
Well, Clinton sold, and I'm going to get this wrong, like over 10 million records. And
dude, it's 80.
80 million records.
Well, it's over 10.
It is over 10. You were right.
He wasn't lying.
I didn't screw that up.
Yeah. No, I've sold under 10 million records. So I'm right there.
Hey, let me rephrase this. Between Clinton and I, we've sold over 80 million records. Anyway, we hope to help sell your company as well. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Hayden. Great job, buddy.
I'm excited to hear our next pitch from Aubrey Ferreira, founder and CEO of Minx.
Minx allows women to date intentionally by allowing them to track their dates, reflect on them, learn how to date smarter, and connect with other women. We can't make the perfect person appear, but we can learn from our experiences, do the work on ourselves to attract the right person, and build that healthy relationship that so many of us desire. And I've been working on Minx for about 8 months as well. We live in a culture of living intentionally. So what that looks like is setting a goal in a different area of life, coming up with a plan and doing research on how to accomplish that goal. But we haven't always taken the same approach when it comes to dating, because we've grown up watching these rom-coms, these movies with meet cute stories, and it's given us really unrealistic expectations. So I decided to empower women by taking control of their dating lives and take that same intentional approach that they take in other areas of life.
Aubrey, you're up on 2-Minute Drill.
Hi, my name's Aubrey, and I'm the founder of Minx. Minx is the app designed to help women navigate dating. It is not a dating app in the traditional sense. Dating apps give you matches. Minx helps you date intentionally. So funny enough, Minx was born out of my own experiences with dating. I was in an unhealthy relationship for way too long, and despite friends encouraging me to get out of it for years, it wasn't until I read a book on relationship psychology and realized exactly what was happening that I left the relationship. Since then, I've been a little bit nervous to waste precious time and have wanted to take a very intentional approach to dating. And I'm not alone in this. 93% of Gen Z have reported that they're dating for marriage. So I decided to join the $4.4 billion dating services market and created Minx. Minx helps women date intentionally by allowing them to track their dates, reflect on them, learn how to date smarter, and connect with other women. And this is how it works. After each date, users will complete the post-date questionnaire, including questions about their date, how the date went, and reflection questions to help users think about the most important things when it comes to finding and building that healthy relationship. Users will learn how to date smarter through the dating psychology content and tips, and from the personal recommendations that Minx provides based on the user's dating history. Lastly, users will be able to connect with other women on the app because being one of the last single girls in your friend group can be isolating, and it's helpful to connect with other women in the same life stage as you. I'm currently pre-seed and bring 8 years of marketing experience to the table, and I'm searching for a technical co-founder, strategic advisors, and...
My first question is there a part that if you use this after a while, it recognizes and lets you know, yeah, we think you might be the problem?
Quite. Hopefully that's not the case. We can help any woman no matter where she's at. In her
But
dating.
at some point you have to have, but when you're saying it has all this psychological data and stuff, at some point you can't just say, well, maybe you need someone like this, maybe you need, at some point you're like, dude, maybe you need to go get some therapy. I don't think anyone's gonna work for you.
That's really the point of the app, you know, it's really taking it upon yourself to do the work on yourself, not so much pointing at fingers at other people. You know, you can't make the perfect person appear, but what you can do is learn from your experiences, do the work on yourself to attract the right person and build that healthy relationship.
Can you give us an example of some questions that it would ask us, like in a post-date?
But it's for just women, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah,
Just
it's just women.
It is for just women. I didn't really envision men coming home from their date and answering their questions. Plus,
Well, they would, just different questions.
Yeah.
But what's an example of some questions that it would ask post-date?
Yeah, so how did you feel physically during the date? Were you stiff, relaxed, or somewhere in between? You know, did they make you laugh? Did you feel heard? I just have the questions for the first dates because I've yet to launch the MVP, but obviously as I learn, get more user data and iterate and partner with other people, I'm hoping to bring a psychologist on board to help write those questions for second, third, fourth date, because you know, as the relationship progresses, you should be thinking about different things.
Would you say you're solving the problem of self-awareness while women date?
Ooh.
That's a good question. I guess that's
Marcus
kind
liked
of
it.
one of our goals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe they choose better if they realize
Well,
what's
that
really
was the
going
point of
on.
my
I
whole,
think
like,
that's
at
what you're
some
saying.
point you
Yeah,
gotta
I like
realize
that.
it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also think they date
understand-
better.
ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, no, and I'm a dad of 25, 23, and 20-year-old girls who date.
Yeah.
And so I hear third party how dates go and their perception of it. And so I think it's interesting because I think not only is it an awareness issue, but it's also, I think, an idea about, hey, this is the type of person I'm looking for. And we start prioritizing, I'm really looking for someone, like I just went on 5 dates and they all didn't hear me. And so not just maybe I'm the problem, but I should really ask before I date someone, you know, or at least do some due diligence of what a good listener they are, or whatever the other issues may be. Or maybe, I always say my girls, they tell me they're never gonna date a guy like that again, and then he just looks different, and he's the exact
This is
same
so
problem.
true.
Yeah.
Well, I think what Aubrey's doing here is actually solving that issue as well. From what it sounds like, hey, I'm chipping in here on your pitch, but what I heard is if you keep saying the same things, this thing is going to say, hey, here's some ways to watch for guys like that.
Yeah, maybe you're sitting there going, hey, the best relationship I have was somebody who I'm not choosing as often, and this makes you It's, I guess, supposed to make you make a better decision.
People will sit and architect, well, smart people will sit and architect and build a plan for the business and how they're going to reach milestones and achieve, revenue. Most people don't do that to their business. Their life. They run through life just blind, like, I'm going to date this, I'm going to date that. They're not sitting like, this is what I want, how I want it, who I want in my life. And I think this app helps you kind of architect your life, your love life, which is the biggest part of your life.
Yeah, I didn't hear, Aubrey, how you're going to make money with this app, though.
So I have 3 monetization strategies in mind. So one would be a subscription model. So basic level insights would be for free, but then more recommendations that are really deeper on how to optimize your dating life would be perhaps a paid option. I am still early, so I am still, kind of figuring this out. My second monetization strategy would be selling part of my data to dating apps, as I think it would be really beneficial. They often lose sight of what happens after a match is made, and so I think my data could really be helpful around that aspect. And then lastly, within the content, the Minx guides, I focused on the dating psychology content and tips, but it can really expand into anything girlhood. And so think of outfit ideas for your next date night sponsored by XYZ brand. Really you can expand in a lot of ways there.
This is a huge extension to dating apps.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I think there's a huge licensing play to take it because none of them are providing these types of services.
But they also can rip it off. It's not proprietary.
Well, that's exactly the other side that I do. So I would look into protecting it because I think it not necessarily just has to be for women, that when you go to a bigger app that has a huge database, to be able to even develop this under the context that you're doing and bring in the experts and the sponsors, it brings it to life. I think what a lot of people, besides, I think one of the strongest things that I like about your app is the community, because as anyone knows, if you're surrounded by a bunch of married people, or even it happens when people have babies, right? You're the last one, and it almost creates more resistance to getting what you want, because everyone's constantly asking you, when are you getting married? And the older you get, the worse it gets. So really great start. And I want to go back to the pitch, because I thought the pitch was on the money.
Yeah.
And Fluid covered all the asks and all the criteria. So as much as people can pick a startup company with a whole bunch of great ideas, this is also 2-minute drill, and that was an extraordinary pitch. So congratulations.
Great job,
Aubrey. I just want to say, I think you are doing a good service to this world. I think there are a lot of women, and I'm going to say that I think this is actually a great target you're going after, who are willing to spend. So I think creating a community is going to help you a ton. And I know this sounds absolutely ridiculous, but I can't wait to see the point where men are allowed to apply, to have their profiles put on there, like, no, I am a good listener, and I am looking for a good woman.
I do love puppies.
I do love puppies.
Well, what about just, I'm looking to get married, right?
Yes.
So girls know that this guy's serious. So
I love the financial model, because Tinder is doing almost $2 billion a year. So that data would be gold for them.
And also, when you say that 93% of people are looking for marriage, is that mostly women?
That's 93% of Gen Z are dating intentionally, dating for marriage.
And what percentage of that is women?
99.
I actually don't have the percentage of women within that. The study just covered Gen Z, but I'll look at that for my next pitch.
Yeah, very good. Congratulations.
Job,
we'll look
Aubrey.
forward to seeing you at the end of the show.
Next up, we'll hear from Vinny Van Zyl, founder of Clubly.
Clubly is a golf club rental community. It allows users to rent their golf clubs directly to golfers traveling in their area. We were out in San Francisco waiting for a wedding, and me and my buddies wanted to go golfing because we weren't in the wedding. So everyone else was off doing their thing. We were like, let's try to see if we can go golfing somewhere. So we found this clubhouse. We went to it. We asked if they were able to rent clubs, and the guy's like, yeah, sure, we have rental clubs. And I'm a lefty, so it's not easy to just get clubs when you go to a clubhouse. And this guy pulled out the oldest, smallest set of clubs. And I was like, man, I feel like it would have just been easier if I knocked on someone's door down the road and grabbed their set of clubs. So ever since that, every bachelor party I'd go on, we'd be thinking about that. So, clubhouse rentals would be too expensive. Clubhouse rentals would be first come, first serve. So it turned into, let's try to make this thing. Let's make it happen.
Vinny, Your 2 minutes starts now.
How's it going? My name is Vinny Van Zyl, founder of Clubly, a golf club rental community that allows users to rent their golf clubs directly to golfers traveling in their area. Between bachelor parties, business trips, family vacations, and yearly golf getaways, 2.5 million of these travelers are renting. So why are they renting when they could just ship their own clubs? It's because shipping's getting expensive, it's a hassle, and it's become pretty unreliable. You've got pros, college teams, and average golfers constantly posting on social media about how their clubs have been lost or destroyed by the airline. Right now, the only viable option is to rent from the clubhouse you're playing at, and that's if they're even offered. And if they are, at least on a local course level, chances are you're going to get a mixed bag and you're going to be playing with clubs you don't want. That's why Clubly is reimagining golf club rentals. It's a peer-to-peer platform similar to Toro and Airbnb that allows you to shop an extensive inventory of golf clubs hosted by local golfers. We connect real golfers of all skill levels with each other to create much more than an impersonal e-commerce experience, but a trusting community that establishes real consumer relationships between traveling golfers and rental hosts. And traveling aside, with YouTube and TikTok influencers ushering in a new generation of casual golfers, Clubly is the perfect app to get first-timers out on the course without the massive financial commitment of buying a set of clubs. Since Clubly is a unique and scalable app with a major market demand, we believe being first to market will give us the competitive edge we need to capitalize on golf's $84 billion global market. I only founded this company a few months ago, so I'm looking for a partner who complements my passion and creativity with a more polished understanding of business to help me get things going. Until then, my goal is to receive $300,000 to put towards marketing and development to hit an expected launch date across all mobile app stores by spring 2025.
So Vinny, I have been involved with golf for a long time, and absolutely have wasted a ton of money renting clubs that I didn't want to play with. And the people around me, and during tournaments, it'd have been nice if they didn't have to fly in their clubs, et cetera, when we get sizing left, right. Certain bags have different clubs in it that we like. How do you see the pricing though? Because one of the things is it going to be like a Toro's worth it because our car, and there's absolutely that people have second and third sets that they would not mind renting out. Most people probably aren't going to rent out the clubs they use, but so many people that have really nice sets, like I probably have 4 or 5 really nice sets of clubs that aren't used, so I would love to do this. But how much do you think it would cost comparatively to renting a set at the course, and how would they get the clubs?
Based on my own personal experience, the most I've ever spent on renting clubs was in Seattle, and that was about $85 on top of a round that was already $105. So if you can rent some clubs for $35 to $45, to me, that's worth it. That's worth meeting someone, worth picking it up, and
so you pick it up.
having a set of clubs that you.
I agree.
There's a few different options when you get into the guts of the app, but that is the ultimate goal. You pick up the clubs, it's $35, $45, whatever they pick to price it at, and you're definitely paying a lot more than what the clubhouses are spending. The big thing is that a lot of the courses don't even offer rental clubs. By me, the municipals, the smaller local courses, you're not even getting that offer.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, you're more of a golfer than I am, but isn't most desirable golf courses like destination spots? So how many people are close by is going to run you over some nice clubs right away, and then anybody that's traveling to go to these destination spots are pro golfers that only use their own
What Vinny's
clubs.
talking about is exactly what I thought he was, which is there's a ton of municipal public courses. You know, most resorts have a deal, and they're much more expensive, by the way, at a resort.
Yeah.
But those guys can afford it. When you're staying at the Waldorf, the Ritz, Four Seasons, most of those people are not going to want to go pick them up. But there's a ton of people that come visit you, and you're going to the local course, and you're driving to it, and if there's a guy on the way, and you have 3 friends out of town coming in, and you can go ahead and pick these up, that pricing doesn't really matter. It's the fact that I can get you a set of clubs.
Yeah, you know, when I heard the pitch, and I also consulted for the golf industry quite a bit, and when I heard you say that, I was definitely thinking, what's the pricing? Because it doesn't seem like the higher end of the market is really going to be interested in this. It seems like we're kind of talking mid to low market, where people can buy a set, they have a set of $500 golf clubs, $1,000 golf clubs that they can rent out a ton of times to
most of the time,
make it,
I guarantee it's their second or third set.
Yeah. Oh.
Right. I have a couple of $2,000 sets just through the years, and they're different. And I know that if I could help someone out and make a few bucks, you know, they rent it for a weekend.
But are you, David Meltzer, actually going to waste your time to rent out your thing for 35
If they pick
bucks
it up at my
5 times?
house and I can just leave it by the door.
Yeah, I think if
Now
they
you
picked
bring
it up, I
random
would.
people to your house to get your clubs. They say,
Yeah.
"Oh, this guy's got better clubs. Look at his house."
It's a good point.
Steal your
That's
other
a fair
clubs.
point.
Yeah.
What other questions do we have for Vinny? Marcus, you have that look.
Yeah, well, let me start. I'll start with the positive of what I liked about the pitch. You're really polished. I like the green. I like everything is coordinated nicely. You got the golf shirt on. You look like a golfer. I'm like, hey, we're talking golf. Let's do this, right? So I love all that. My big concern that is kind of what we're talking about here. You know, I've got pretty nice clubs. They've been built for me. I'm not going to do it for 35, 40 bucks. But two, my bigger concern is, oh, you're playing at a municipal course? This is your first time playing? Like, can I get a $3,000 damage deposit? So I would just encourage you to make sure you've got those things covered one way or another. I don't even have a solution necessarily. That was just my first concern. But I also do see, you know, someone comes out for a week and wants to take my clubs out, and I'm going to get a few $100. Hey, now we're talking.
Well, I think we all have deposits when we do Airbnbs and stuff like that, and I think that could be definitely a part of it with the credit card, whatever.
Or insurance.
However
People
you deal
insure
with that.
anything.
Yeah.
I was curious how much you're going to take, because obviously you're going to take a percentage of this, I would imagine. Yeah.
We were talking 14%. Like I said on my pitch, you know, my business side of things, I'm not as polished. I'm more of a marketer. I'm more of someone that is able to make this brand come to life. And I'm really searching for that partner that can help me out with those hard questions that I feel like I can have a better answer for you if I had someone to have these conversations with and really, you know, hammer down an answer. But from my research, it's come out to around 14% on the transaction fee.
And I think he's going to run into the same thing, that you go to a club now or golf now or one of the biggest, you know, where you're booking these municipal courses, they list out every course. It might be a great service for them, but then you run into what you and I always talk about, why wouldn't they just do it themselves if they already have the database? But it may be worth a conversation with people that are in that industry. I would check out Golf Now because they're a really good app on all the municipal courses and public courses. And if people are already booking times when they come visit a city, there may be something that you find by talking to them that can make this easy for you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
I like that partnership because I think also you could drop the clubs at the course and you don't have to deal with the whole pick them up at my house
the
thing.
margins though. That's another person.
Well, if you don't, I think the courses would do it for free as a service.
That's
to get
exciting,
them to come
John.
to your
That's
stores.
exciting though, because I think one of the critical business issues is these municipal core. They don't want to spend on the thing.
Yeah.
What if the courses stored the clubs and they take a percentage split? And the course rents them out for you, and now instead of trying to sell your second-hand set, third-hand set, like I would gladly drop 2 or 3 sets off at my municipal course that I never go to and say, hey, just pay me $50 a month for these.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Pay me $50.
But then you don't need him.
Well, but if he's running managing
the whole
booking
thing.
it, because remember, one course isn't going to do it for themselves and have all these people. He could be the booking agent because he has all the courses involved. So there is something there. But back to the other side.
Yeah.
This is 2-minute drill, and sometimes we get deep into the weeds with the company. I thought the pitch was excellent, man. And I still like a mom that comes on and shows me how she pitches a 4-year-old to eat broccoli. They could win this show, even though there's no company involved. And that was an excellent pitch, and for all the reasons that the guy said so. So congratulations. If you want to reach out after, I got a few more ideas for you.
Yeah. Great job, Vin.
Great job, Vinny.
Yeah.
See you at the end of the show.
Next up, we'll hear from Greg Trosper, founder and CEO of Band Buddy.
So my app is for artists to perform real-time song requests at live music events. It actually occurred at a live music event where I saw a band use a fishing pole with a bucket to try and get tips. And I said, there's gotta be a better way. So my passion for music is what's always connected me, but I never could find my sweet spot with what that was. Was I supposed to be a musician? Was I supposed to be a recording engineer? Was I supposed to be a manager? This is probably the closest thing that I found to my calling, because I think what I'm trying to do is not make a bunch of money, it's to help artists get successful and make a living at what they do by making a few more dollars by performing.
Greg, your 2 minutes starts now.
Hello, my name is Greg Trosper. I'm founder and CEO of Band Buddy, and my company is developing an app for artists to perform real-time song requests at live music events. Guys, think about a time you're at a bar and a great live band was playing and you wanted to request your favorite song, but you had a table in the back, a huge crowd in front of the stage, and you didn't have any cash for tipping. You probably gave up and felt a little disappointed, but the band missed an opportunity at making a tip. I too had similar experiences, except one time I saw a band use a fishing pole and a bucket to try and get their tip. The problem is fans and bands have limited engagement at live music events, and artists are missing out on opportunities to make more money. We have a better solution. Introducing Band Buddy. So how does it work? A fan will locate a venue, select a participating band, and request a song. The game changer is the screen on the far right. This is what fans and bands will see at a live show. Tipping is optional, but it does drive song rankings. For example, Man-Made a Bar is at the top of the list for $50. But if I wanted my song played for $100, it would get a higher rank. So think American Idol, where fans are voting for their favorite act. We're applying that same success to a live music event. Now let's look at the market opportunity, some live music industry trends. Live music is contagious and growing. In fact, it's outpacing recorded and streaming, with projected revenues to reach $31 billion by 2030. And in our target audience, 75% of 13 to 49-year-olds have been to a live music event. That's almost 150 million people. So my ask is for $250,000 to help me get to market, but I'm also seeking influencers for marketing and social media advertising. Guys, my dreams of being a rock star just simply didn't work out, but my passion for the art and my belief in the power of music to connect people, to create memorable experiences is my new inspiration.
It's interesting because there's a lot of facets to that solution, but for me, I love the way you painted the picture. And I really got an idea and felt from the times I visited Nashville and New Orleans, where there's so much live music, and sometimes it's not even it's too far to get to the stage. It's just not convenient when you're sitting there drinking. And how many times have we wanted, what was going through my mind, to tip someone, but it was like, God, I don't want to go walk up there and be that guy and put $5 into the thing. But if I had my app and it became gamified and everybody wants to hear our favorite song from a cover band, or if we know the band and playing in a smaller venue and they haven't played our favorite song, I can see a great value in the ranking, and bands loving it, of course, because they're going to make a lot more money.
I'm a huge live music person. I spend all my time, going to live bands that are just local bands, Mastros. We always hang out. So, but I think one of the biggest things that you solve for me is I hate waiting till the middle, like the end of the song, to try to go up there and try to request a song. I think that value alone makes what you're doing just amazing, and what a great job you did on presenting it.
For sure.
Great job.
Yeah. Beautiful presentation. Really cool concept. I'd like to know the monetizing situation, but then I also wanted to encourage you, you might have already thought of this, but I pictured a QR code at any event where this is happening. You gotta just make it so easy for us, and I think that would just make it so easy. Boom, the QR code, and now I'm ready to start tipping.
Yeah, QR code for sure, we've got that in place. So monetization, we think we have maybe 3 viable routes: a fan fee and maybe a band subscription, and then service agreements for venues or for music promotion groups or anything that's on a larger scale. But our focus is really on the bar band. Let's get the bar bands and subscription for musicians going first, build a following, and then let's see what's next.
So let me tell you the 3 huge things that I didn't hear you say that this would make this app amazing.
What do you know about music, bro?
So there's a lot of bands and artists that are struggling and begging to get booked and to be in venues. And the number one way for people to book them is, can you sell tickets? Can you bring an audience? So this app, if you're already like tipping, like let's say, hey guys, this place will book me if we can get this many people to say they want to do it, and they book, and guess what? Now the venue doesn't have to pay because the fans already paid the fee that the club doesn't have to pay. So now the club knows you're going to get 37 people to come. The band's going to get their $600 because people with their tipping already paid them, and the venue doesn't have to pay them. It's a win-win-win for the band, the fans, and the venue. So that's one. That's what I would focus on 100% as the lead for this. And then when you're the requesting, because like I've been to bars and places where I'm like, I wish I could ask that guitar player to play this song, right? So it's like, one, it's not really a secret if I leave my girl at the table and say, hey man, can you play this? She knows I'm up to something. If I want to say, can you play our favorite song without her knowing, then it comes on, that's romantic. Two, if you have like an auction style of tips, now you're getting, whoever out here tips me the most, I'm playing the next song. Now you got people fighting over, well, I gave him $20, and guess what? Everybody wins, because you're tipping the, go ahead.
I think he said that.
That one's included.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, he just said it's a leaderboard, and the highest one just goes to the top. It's not necessarily given the money. That's what I heard. So it's like the artist could get all the money if everyone's tipping.
Everyone has to pay.
Yeah, if everyone's like, I'm going to do $5, you're going to do 10, you did 50.
Oh,
this dick that came in and paid
now you got the
100.
competition
Yeah,
side.
that's great. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sorry, I thought that's what it was.
No, it's different. What Clinton's saying, he understands. It just ranks it so they don't take all the money for the people that lose. Oh. But in an auction, it's like everybody's trying to get it there, and they keep all the money.
Oh yeah. And they don't mind kind of losing because they're still tipping their favorite band.
Exactly.
It's still a benefit to the band, right? Because even if your song is not played, the band can still accept that money and they don't have to play the song. Or it can go back to a credit for a queue for next Saturday night.
But here's another part too for the artists. I can't tell you how many artists don't play a certain song that say us four want to hear.
The Rolling
and we're like,
Stones
dude, well that's different. They got a huge catalog. They can't play everything. but like for new artists, right? You might not know everyone in this town loves that mixtape record I put out, or that
That's
one
so
bootleg
good.
I did on YouTube. Man, like 76 people asked for this record. I gotta play this record tonight.
But he also could add, I think one of the genius things was giving the venue security that people are going to show up. Imagine also being able to have them pay for the playlist. And so you know these people are going to show up, and so they're paying for the playlist, and wow, we had this many people that are paying to put their song on the playlist even, and now you get that venue side of it as well.
Now I know for a fact when I come tonight for my date or anniversary, and I want to hear my song of our song, I know that afternoon that I hit Greg, say you're the performer, and I say, dude, here's $500. I need you to play my song during your set.
And then you have 3 spots. You could have 3 spots to auction off. So you're already building interest that here's the playlist. But if your song, you've committed to come, if your song's not on the playlist, you've already secured 3 auction spots to be able to put your song at the top and auction it off.
Dude, we just made your app 10 times better.
Welcome to 2 Minute Drill.
Guys, and you can see where just my basic idea is going to explode and expand and just build and build and build and get more variations.
But you struck a nerve with everyone, right? Which is a key. Like some people have things and everybody's like, oh, I would do this, I would do this. You got a winner, but once again, the pitch was excellent too because you stimulated all of our interests.
I think the thing I love the most, because all you guys are saying it, is that the band's going to make more money, and so the idea of a starving artist might not be true anymore. Like actually,
and I think that the venue's more secure and the fan gets a better experience. And those are the 3. The venue wants to be secure, the band wants to make more money, and the fans want to have a better experience. And you hit all 3.
Yep.
Perfect. Awesome.
Great job.
Now you got
Greg.
your pitch.
Love the ideas.
Yes.
All right.
Good stuff.
Well, great job. We'll see you at the end of the show. Thank you, Craig.
You've heard some amazing pitches so far. Now let's hear the tip of the day from Jeremy Alexander Newsom, the CEO of Real Life Trading and the founder of the nonprofit RL Foundation.
My friend, turn your mess into your message. This is about establishing credibility through vulnerability. Credibility isn't just about flaunting your achievements, it's about owning your weaknesses too. Be open about where you fall short. It's through vulnerability that trust is truly built. Show how you've overcome challenges and demonstrate that your business can thrive even when the going gets tough. And you'll get investors just like me to be excited to invest into your business.
Welcome back to 2 Minute Drill. This is my favorite and least favorite part because we have to choose a winner. And I will tell you, as always, it's a difficult decision to make. I'm going to start. First of all, I want to congratulate all the contestants. You make our job so hard. Thank you so much. You did extremely good job, and all of you should leave here hopefully with value, and your success will be definitely proof of that value. Clinton.
What do they win, by the way?
Oh, you win over $50,000 of cash and prizes. There's a lot of shit you win.
Really?
And thank you for your donation. We appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
You get free music mentoring. Free music mentoring from Clinton Sparks. Go ahead.
So everybody did an amazing job pitching. It's rare you see 5 pitches and they were all really done well and articulated their business. There was a couple that could have got to what they were doing faster, whatnot, but you still at the end, you finally came around and told us everything that we needed to know. Because of that, the 2 that I liked the most, even though there's 3, but the 2 I liked the most was Picnic, because I love You Choose. I'm a big fan of taglines, get familiar.
Yeah, get familiar.
I also like Band Buddy a lot because I think it really helps a giant community of people that can make win-win-win scenario with that. And I love Minx because everybody needs to know how to get better. And I think if you ask the right questions and have these personality profiles and behavioral profiles, it helps you become better and find the right person that you want in a unique way. But if I had to pick one.
You do?
I do, okay. I would have to go with, oh man, this blows.
How do you think I feel? I got to make the actual decision.
Because it feels like when you pick one, you're basically saying the other ones aren't good.
Yeah,
right?
You're the best of the worst, right?
You said that.
Yeah. But I think the one that has the most scalability, and that's why I'm choosing it, is Picnic. Because of the things that I had said on how it can grow past food and start really, adding on other genres and things like that. So I think Picnic, plus I really love the tagline. And I think taglines go a lot with really making you identify a clever way of what we are, what you do, what this is about, and why you should care about it.
I just want to tell you guys, really impressed. Such incredible businesses, clever, figuring out how to solve real problems. So thank you for that. Some of my standouts, I was trying to get this thing narrowed down. Mitchell, Picnic, phenomenal. Honestly, all of you guys. But you know what? Aubrey, I'm giving you and Minx, you got my vote. I just see it. Oh, there's so many different ways to monetize. I think you've got a winner on your hands.
This was so incredibly difficult. I've gone back and forth like a million times, just like thinking about this. You guys did such an amazing job, like presenting, and yeah, I've been blown away way more than I expected. It's such a difficult decision because I'm like going, do I want to go after a unicorn or am I going after a cash cow? Right? I'm not sure which one I'm after, and I've gone back and forth, and I'm kind of going with my heart, with my passion, and I'm gonna go with Band Buddy. Yeah.
All right. So thank you, all 3 of you, for the great job, the great insights, and the great advice, which is most importantly, not just to the contestants, but to the community. And I can't tell you after 6 seasons of this, how many people tell me they either started a business because they saw this show, or they improved their business because they saw the show, and they've reached out to different judges as well and asked them for further advice, mentorship as well. And you can see we started mentoring during this show, which I really liked. Came up with some great ideas, had some brainstorms. It's interesting because I probably weigh a little bit heavier on the pit side of it as well. And that's what made it really difficult, because the pitches were, like you said, we don't normally clap, right? And I've been doing this for years. People are right on time. They have great branding. They get great taglines. I mean, these are part of my dream of what I want people to see to learn how to pitch. And so thank you, and thank all of you for making this show so awesome. So needless to say, I've kind of narrowed it down from everyone on the show.
Yeah, before you say that.
Okay.
I have
You're gonna make my job harder?
I'm gonna make your job a little harder. I'm gonna interrupt you for a second,
Okay.
Dave. You know, I sat there and talked to the board at Naked Ventures, and we wanted to kind of sweeten the pot today. I know you have cash and prizes that you're offering on the show, but we wanted to sweeten the pot and let you know, and I trust you, because this decision that you're about to make, we're going to make a $50,000 investment to the company that's going to win this. So please,
You guys want that?
make a good decision.
Any of you want that? Raise your hand. Okay.
Is anybody related? Is anybody related to the Meltzer?
There's some catches to this.
No
but
relations to
we'll
the
talk.
Meltzer.
We'll talk through this.
All right. My decision from a very tight race is going to be Greg at Band Buddy.
Whoa! Whoa! Great job.
There's all winners. All winners, but I had to pick one. You're all winners. Thank you so much. Greg, how excited are you?
Fantastic. It's just a 2-year journey for me, and to come to this spot that was an actual situation. I saw a band with a fishing pole try and get tips. So to come this far and get where I am today, I'm very grateful and humbled, and I'm appreciative.
And if you had a tagline, it would have made my life easier. But you choose, and then Minx, that pitch from Aubrey was like, shit, I didn't know who to do. Anyway, thank you all. I'm glad that's over. You're all winners in my heart. Please, happy to help all of you. Thank you so much.
More 2-Minute Drill is coming up next. But first, check out this Entrepreneur Showcase with Sia Najad, media host, sports analyst, legal analyst, and mentor. Sia Najad is a trailblazer who seamlessly bridges the worlds of sports, media, and law. As a nationally recognized media host and sports analyst, Sia captivates audiences with his sharp insights and charismatic presence on platforms like CBS Sports, where he's broken down hundreds of marquee events across NFL, PGA Tour, and college athletics. Beyond sports, Sia's legal acumen as a high-profile legal analyst has made him a trusted voice on some of the most significant cases of the last decade. His unique ability to explain complex legal matters with clarity has earned him a spot as a go-to expert across media outlets. Sia's passion for mentorship has touched the lives of countless mentees, helping them excel in media, law, and personal growth.
Hi, I'm Dave Meltzer on 2-Minute Drill with the Entrepreneur Showcase, and I'm excited to have someone that has a similar background to me. Sia Najad is here. He's an amazing sports analyst, sportscaster, fantasy football expert, well, fantasy in general expert, speaker. He is an incredible talent, but most of all, you'll find out he's a good friend of mine and has helped me build my brand, and I'm here to help him build his as an entrepreneur. Welcome to 2-Minute Drill, Sia.
David, thanks for having me. I appreciate all the accolades there. You've been a huge influence on me transitioning from career to career. So without that, I don't know that I'd be sitting here with you today. So thank you.
Thank you. Both of us are recovering lawyers.
That's right.
And so I have always told people, because they want to work in sports, especially as a sports agent, they'll ask me, how important is it to go to law school? And that is for me, investment based off of timing and risk tolerance, but I also have them analyze the skills, the knowledge, and their desire in order to answer that question effectively. How important were the skills, the knowledge, and the desire that you had from not only going to law school, passing the bar, and practicing law for 10 years that are now applicable in your sports media career?
Well, it's interesting because I do, like, obviously the hosting, and I'm an analyst as well, like you mentioned, and a lot of the critical thinking and analytical thinking you need in law school and in practicing law really applies to whether it's sports betting or analyzing a game or whatever the case may be. And obviously I've transitioned to other stuff as well. But yeah, I mean, law school and being a lawyer, it's funny you mentioned the agent thing, because that can be a more difficult task. You might need more of a connection to get you in the door, and you can speak to that better than I can. But yeah, the analytical side of practicing law, the questioning, the playing devil's advocate side, it really translates into being a host, into specifically being an analyst or a sports betting analyst, if you will, on any game, whether it's NFL, NBA, or otherwise.
And when we start our career, it's not where we're going to end.
Right.
And unfortunately, a lot of people in law school, including me and maybe you, we thought, well, we're going to law school and this is where my law profession is going to start and end. And there comes a point where we start realizing, wow, here I want a media career. But yet when we get the media career and we have a specific niche, like for me, it was in sports marketing, right? That's where sports business, sports marketing, I did a ton of content, radio shows, segments on the business shows, and you started and have been doing that as well. But I know someone as talented as you also sees things in a bigger way. What are some of the things that you're now jumping to? So you did the law thing, now you understand the media game, and you started with your specific talents and the analytical side of things, but you're starting to realize there's a community out there that you can impact. What effect is that having on your career choices beyond being this terrific on the big network with big companies? You've made it in media, but now you're seeing something bigger, it seems like.
Big time. And I'm really trying to delve into areas where David, you have delved into, and that's helping people. I mean, it's super simple, but the cool thing about having this media career now is that it gives me a large enough platform to impact people in such a positive way. And so what I've done with CNajadSports.com, and you've been on the CNajad Sports interview series, what I've done with that is let people know that it's not too late to transition to something else. Let people know that there are actual practical tools you can use to maybe move from one career that you're not super satisfied with to another career. And I don't say that in a arbitrary or capricious way. I mean, this is one of those things where there are practical tools, and I know you teach this quite a bit every day. There's so much access to you, and because of that, I've used some of that and used it on my own platform, because I think a lot of people think it's too late to transition from, let's say, I mean, I practiced law. I was a trial attorney for 13 years, David. A lot of people would say, hey, Sia, you're kind of stuck with that now. You went to law school, you paid for law school, now you've been practicing law for this long, you can't really transition. That type of social norm, that type of thing that's cast upon us, I like to cast that aside a little bit, because I think there's a lot more that we're capable of. And so what I'm trying to do, as a jump off point from my sports casting and my being a sports analyst, is transition to, hey, I think there's other people that can do the things I'm doing, that can follow the model that you followed and the model that I followed as well.
And in the context of following that model, and I don't even use the word transition, and I use the word expansion. Like, I believe my career keeps expanding. And I'm still utilizing what I learned from Westlaw in Boolean language searching into natural language searching that I now utilize as AI, understanding exactly how to access the information that is necessary and most aligned with my objectives. More synthesized data, quicker, in alignment with where I want to be or better. When you're talking about this idea of transitioning, there's a lot of resistance. And sometimes when we make big investments in law school or 13 years into litigation, the resistance becomes bigger and bigger. And the resistance to me stemmed from the fact why I even went to law school. Because people that loved me the most wanted me to be secure. And I feel that everybody that's working in any position today feels resistance because they want to expand. But the people who love them the most will resist their expansion because they're afraid that it's not going to work out, and they'll be in financial dire straits, or they'll be disappointed and hurt, or whatever it may be. And I think at its core, that's the biggest problem with people not reaching their potential. And you'll have the same thing. You're going to be speaking on big stages someday. You're going to move into the space right like I did into impacting all these people. And you're going to have to make an investment again. You have a wife. You have kids, you have parents, you have all the same people in your life that I had, and they're going to tell you, Sia, this is just a pipe dream. How do you stay confident and comfortable in your pursuit when it seems like, to me still today, most people laugh at me, scoff at me, make fun of me, And eventually they applaud me.
Yeah, so you said most people. You got to find a different most people, and that doesn't mean
Thank you.
For the record, that doesn't mean abandoning the people that are surrounding you. But like you said, those people might not have. They might not have your best. They might have your best interests, but they don't know what your best interests are. They're not necessarily positioned. And I know you've told the story about your mom and the West Law and all of that. In terms of, of course, she loved you the most, but she might not have been in the best position to give you that particular type of advice. And so I always, and you mentioned my wife and my kids, but my wife is a big supporter of mine. She's a big supporter of my dreams because she believes in me. And it's not just an arbitrary, I believe in you because you're my husband. I've given her the foresight and I've shown her what I'm capable of doing for her to believe in me. My parents, the same thing. So yeah, you're gonna have doubters. That's okay to have doubters in your life. But the key is to find other people like yourself, David Meltzer, anybody can access you, right? You're on social media platforms everywhere, every single day, and you do meetups and all of those things. There are people you can surround yourself with that you can include in your spectrum beyond those that might be doubting you, beyond the ones that might be saying, hey, play it safe. There's other people that are saying, hey, I agree with the play it safe part, but let's talk about what you can do while you're playing it safe. Let's talk about the practical tools you can utilize to maybe slowly transition to this thing that you love instead of this thing that you have to do.
And one of the other areas I think that you excel in is the understanding of backdrops. We started off by talking about skills, knowledge, and desire in a backdrop of the law, and the backdrop of fantasy, now in the backdrop of all sports analysis and analytical, now in the backdrop of empowering others to empower others, whatever it may be. So many times people don't look within to find what they want outside of them. What are you finding inside of you today with all the accelerated changes, with the responsibility that you have, and you are, like me, a very pragmatic soul. We're very inspirational and passionate, but we use pragmatic frameworks to give us a comfort. When I ask you, hey, Sia, as your friend, I want you to dig deep inside of you like you were that kid that was losing and it's the fourth quarter. What do you see today when you look inside of you to see what you want outside of you?
Well, I think the fundamental problem with that question is so few people look inside of themselves. So few people are introspective. So if you can actually take that step as an individual, as anybody listening to this right now, and try to figure out, okay, what are my actual faults? What am I doing to not put myself in position to grow or to be better? You might find some answers that you don't like, but that's okay because now you can improve upon that knowledge that you've given yourself. But honestly, David, I'm trying to be introspective because that allows me to improve. I'm trying to be kind to everybody, which I've always done, and you've always done it. And I think, I gotta be honest with you, I'm not necessarily the most talented person in the world, but part of the reason I have accelerated is because a certain kindness that I just kind of bring to every day as a hello to a stranger, those types of things, they do actually open doors because people start to see that and they want to be inside your orbit. So all I'm doing is trying to grow and impact people, be kind and introspective. And if I can do all of those things, I kind of know I'm going to keep leveling up.
And you do keep leveling out and up, by the way. It's funny because people want a blue check on Instagram. They want to be verified. And the first time that I took you out to lunch with my family, you got the Julie check mark, which is my wife's name. So I don't know what color that check mark is. I'll have to think about it. But it meant a lot to me because what you see inside of you is not only what you find outside of you, but it's what others see in you. And it's really, for me, ironic that when I asked my wife, so what do you think of Sia? Because I feel so strongly about our relationship and your potential. And she used those exact same words, like extremely smart, intelligent, and kind of made me jealous. She said extremely good looking. I'm like, whoa, slow down there, Chief. But more importantly, I think those are three qualities that help to build a platform in a community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other. And from the day that we met, even though sometimes determining what team we're playing on, we may not be the point guard. We may at the time be the water boy. I love a water boy that's asking me, hey, how can I be of service to you? Right. And one of the things that I've always known in our long relationship, and we've hosted shows together and continue to do stuff together, is you're always asking, how can I be of service? And bringing value of bringing people more of what they like and take away what they don't like is an expertise that you have. And it's why people like Sia Najad are showcased on this show as our entrepreneur showcase. Go to sianajadsports.com and you'll find out a platform to empower you and others in your life. You will make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun when you find people like Sia that sit in a situation you want to be in and you ask them for directions. I could not be more proud but to have you sitting here on my show, 2 Minute Drill, the incredible entrepreneur showcase, Sia Najad. This is Dave Meltzer with 2 Minute Drill.
The recipient of the JA Impact Award is selected based on their mission-driven values and will have the opportunity to align with one of the world's largest and most impactful youth-serving NGOs. JA inspires and prepares young people to succeed in a global economy while working to build thriving communities and realize the UN global goals. Every year, more than 12 million JA students in over 100 countries participate in hands-on, immersive learning in work readiness, financial health, and entrepreneurship, developing the skill set and mindset they need to become the world's next innovators, entrepreneurs, makers, and managers. By aligning with JA Worldwide, the JA Impact Award winner can work with JA's network of more than 100 million alumni, driving brand awareness through millions of entrepreneurs looking to make an impact on the world. Today's pick for the Junior Achievement Impact Award are Cami and Hayden Orr. As the co-founders of Chord Quest, they are transforming the way musicians practice and perfect their craft by providing a revolutionary tool that enables users to organize, isolate, and rehearse individual parts of any score with ease. Not only are they enhancing musical learning and performance, but they are also inspiring creativity and collaboration within the global music community. Congratulations, Cami and Hayden, for winning this week's JA Impact Award, and thank you for all the incredible work you do. Thanks for watching this week's episode of 2 Minute Drill. Congratulations again to our winners and to our other featured contestants. See you next week on 2 Minute Drill.